Okay, we're going down a special rabbit hole here, but bear with us.
It's amazing.
It is kind of amazing. This one's pretty amazing. We've been sort of
It
battling
is.
over this one for the past hour.
I didn't think it was going to be amazing.
In pre-production, getting in fights about it, having fun about it, and that's what we do. And the whole team's here, and so we're talking about Kanye West.
Yeah.
Not really, but just like we're gonna talk about music. But Kanye West is sort of spearheaded this whole thing. And like Donda, that's the name of this new record, right? Yeah, Donda. Yes, I want to make sure I got it right because we're old, strange people that get confused sometimes.
His new blues record, Joe Bonamassa.
Everybody's like typing. Really?
What? No.
Hate to burst. No, this is actually a really good record. It's a really really good record.
It's actually a good record.
Well, I mean, honestly, it is.
No, it is.
A lot of these blues records that come out are just like another blues record.
Same stuff.
This is not what I don't listen to Kanye West all the time, but I can admit his genius. He's a master marketer. He's a wonderful songwriter. He's crazy as can be sometimes, but that's part of his mad genius.
I feel like he's crazy as can be all the time. But yeah, that's the thing, right?
Let's give a little perspective on this record. It's top, and we're going to get to our point. Just bear with us. We're going to go as fast as I can, so I'm gibbering quickly. It's the top streaming record in over 130 countries, not questions. 130 countries right now. To give you a frame, how many countries are there in the world?
Only 195.
It's 195 countries in the entire world. So pretty much all the countries that can listen to music freely, this is the record that is being listened to. Now, is that to say that all the most popular records are good? No, we've gone through the history before of maybe NSYNC or this Backstreet Boys or this 98 Degrees thing wasn't the greatest, but this is a different phenomenon. We'll continue more. He has the top 19 tracks on the Billboard Top 20 are Kanye's from his new album.
So of the top 20, you're saying 19 tracks are Kanye West songs?
Yes.
From this new album?
Yes.
Right now?
Right now.
There you go.
This moment that this video is out in your face probably. What's happening at this moment we're shooting
at least while we're talking about it.
This video won't be out until 2 days probably, but hopefully we'll see. I hope it comes out sooner than that. The Donda listening party there's two of them. The first one was the most viewed thing on Apple TV ever. Then the second one eclipsed it by twice as many.
Was again.
But doubled the amount. Just millions and millions of views. It's he's had over 60 million streams on Apple Music in the first 24 hours.
That is insane.
That's the number 3. I think Drake still beat him, and that other fella from Fayetteville has got the number 1. Crazy. I can't remember his name right now, but somebody's going to tell me that's into hip hop and stuff. Now, I'm going to give credit where credit's due. Taylor Swift still owns with 80 million streams in the first 24 hours on Spotify.
Spotify, yeah.
Which, that's a streaming service, so I'm going to still give her the reigning champ there in a lot of ways too. But this is a pretty amazing thing.
Now it always comes back to Taylor versus Kanye. Old beefs.
Because he made that business, as he said in one of his lyrics.
Famous.
But no, what we're getting to is though, he's got this new thing, this new stem player. And that
Donda Stem Player.
That sort of clicked all of our light bulbs on a little bit, and we were like, "What the heck is this little egg?" And it gives you all the stems, all the tracks.
Does everyone know what a stem is?
Yeah, explain what a stem is.
I mean, a stem is like the individual tracks. Like if you sent the stems to someone for a song, they could put them in, Pro Tools, Logic, whatever, and manipulate each and every one. Mix it.
Yeah, so Kanye's given you, the end user, the ability to have all the stems for his new album, every one of them.
Everyone.
And you can manipulate them, modify them, rearrange them in this little one.
With your little thumb. It's like magic.
It is kind of magic. I actually want one of these things.
I kind of want one.
Who wouldn't want one? It's like the little Simon Says thing, but like making music. Kanye music.
So then you've got, it's 27 tracks, right?
And how many stems are in each of those?
Good Lord, who knows?
It was just the tactile touch, and like what we saw was like the ease of entry for an artist to get into this. It's a lot different than rock and roll. Like with guitar, you do have to learn this. You have to suck at guitar
for years.
I mean, for weeks for me. Because I was after.
I'm still in that phase. One day I'm gonna
still practicing scales. Like, damn it! How did I miss that again? No, but that's part of like what we find so fascinating about this music. There's an ease of an access point that is so accessible and not in a bad way. It brings people into music, and that's the most important thing to all of us. We are guitar nerds. We love, everyone from the Allman Brothers to the shredders of Steve Vai to Pantera to Henry Rollins and the crew.
Everybody.
But I love music.
I love music too.
And I love kids getting into music.
Yes.
I like that if you can give them this egg and they can play it, it kind of reminds me of the way Les Paul's brain was working back in the day.
Absolutely.
Is this
innovation?
Is Kanye like the new Les Paul?
Maybe. It's really funny because there was a point where I just thought, oh, okay, you sample this stuff, you throw it together, you put a beat on it, no big deal. But then here's Sean, who's our young person that works here, who's not 40 or older.
There's multiple young people, but he's just like he's really involved in this.
He's very involved in this, and
he has funny hair.
I just didn't realize how. It's a really creative process.
No, I've always loved this type of music too. Like, and I don't listen to Kanye a lot, but like Bon Iver and all that stuff. The one he did after working with Kanye, the 22 Million, it's one of my favorite records of the past 10 years.
Yeah.
And it's one you can put it on. I will listen to the whole thing, start to stop. Don't interrupt me. I want to hear the whole thing. It's phenomenal. The samples. He went from an acoustic, indie, Skinny Love thing, which is a phenomenal song, to a masterpiece of he's an artist now.
Cool.
Not just like a guy in his log cabin making music. It's pretty outrageous. And Kanye's giving this. He's entered this tool, and we were thinking wouldn't it be great? Let's say Gibson for now.
Okay.
They have a record label, right?
They have a record label and an app.
What if Gibson had this thing, and you had every Gibson artist on their label that's coming out from Slash and all the gang, and you could manipulate all the stems on everyone.
Crazy.
And does it teach you to play guitar? No. But does it teach?
Might help.
Does it teach you how to manipulate and produce and edit and cut and understand the parts of what you might do better, how you might have done it better, and how you might learn faster?
I think a really tough thing when you learn to play guitar and you maybe go past the level of playing in your bedroom and you want to record, whether it's yourself or in a studio or a demo session or whatever, learning how to layer those parts is hard, right? Learn how to think that way. And if you had something like that where you could take these tracks and split them apart and seeing, oh, okay, this is one guitar, and 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 here's how they're mixed, here's how they're panned, here's what those guys are playing. Wow, it's way less. It's not big chords. It's less than I thought it was. Man, that would be
the mystery of theory. Because I remember people oh no, you just build it with a third and a fifth. I didn't know what the heck a third and a fifth was. I never worked with myself. I've been in studios before, but I never had my hands on a track recording thing until I was probably close to 20.
Yeah.
Because the ease of access to it wasn't there when I was younger. No. And so when I finally got one and I did a guitar track and I was like, wait, I can put another one on top of it. Mm-hmm. I just did a third. I just did a fifth. And I realized what it was from seeing it, and I could hear it. But that took a long time with your 4-track. Because then you have to ping pong it to get
bounce it down, right?
Track 3 goes into 4. Now I got those. I can build another 2 into that, and then it's like people that are the 30s and up will understand this that we've gone through.
I remember saving up and asking my dad for the last little bit of money to buy the Roland 8-track. We burned the CD in the thing.
I had the D32 XD, the Korg.
I remember what mine was called.
D30. That was the jam. It was awesome. Automated faders on mine.
I wasn't that fancy.
It was expensive.
It was.
And it was right at the end of we have this Pro Tools and computers. Should I go into Pro Tools? I'm still just too old school. I need to have the faders. And I worked with it for years.
I remember thinking, but I would, I'd get my 5-6 tracks. I'd bounce that down to the stereo 7 and 8. Make 6 more tracks. Bounce that.
Yep. And I eventually went into the box, when I'm on my own recording stuff, and it is the world just opened up. But I will say, it was never quite as joyous as when I had those faders.
There was something amazing about that.
Yeah,
right?
That was more fun.
Manipulate it, yeah.
But that jumps me back to the stem thing. It's not. It's in the box, but it's in your hand.
It's in your hand.
It's an analog tactile touch thing that appeals to me, old man. I'm not that old. I like to think I'm still.
No, you're pretty old. Yeah.
Damn it.
Sorry.
I am. Had a birthday recently.
We're all about the truth here, honesty.
That gets us in a lot of trouble sometimes. Too. It's a problem, but we were fascinated by this is a little $200 thing too that he's selling.
Yeah.
They sold out. They're $300 on eBay now. But the business behind what the hip hop teams are doing, we want the guitar world to sort of learn from, and the
Catch
rock
up
and
a
roll
little.
world. Yeah, like guitar world is working in first gear. These guys are traveling at light speed. You know, it's a whole, it's a, like, no man, we got this. Like, here's our new like guitar that's the same as the guitar from 1954 with a different color. You know, whereas like,
Well, let's don't get crazy. That's what we want. But still, let's don't get too out there.
it's so funny because it's true. Because like whenever like Fender has like a new thing or Gibson, I'm like, man, I can't wait to see that new burst on the Les Paul. Oh, that was here forever. But I love lemon burst, and with a little green tint on the sides. Ooh, it gets me so excited. I'm so boring.
Green with envy.
It's
Surf
like-
green with envy.
I'm like that dad of yours that wants to watch the same movie. Like, hey, son, let's watch Top Gun one more time. Son, I've been playing "You're My Mate" by Right Said Fred on repeat.
Because you're my mate.
And I will stand by you. You're my mate, and I will stand
This
by
is true.
you.
This is true. We listened to "You're My Mate" for maybe I don't know how many.
Then I put it on
hours
repeat
yesterday.
in my house for my family. For literally, we listened to it for hours, and like, and my son, my 8-year-old, my 5-year-old, my 3-year-old, like, I just want to get drunk with you. I just want, like, they were singing this like through the house, marching, and it was one of the happiest moments of my life.
Because we listened to that before this happened for hours in the guitar shop. I was just watching people walk around, kind of
Yeah,
going,
my
"Oh."
mate. And I'm like doing the sigh, like Gangnam style dance to it, because it fits perfectly. Those guys are brilliant.
And then it ended, but then it just started again. Good times.
I don't know
If
why
only we
we're
could have
talking
manipulated
about
the
that.
stems. Imagine if we had the stem thing for that, for "You're My Mate."
God, they're really
For Right
bad
Said
stems,
Fred.
actually. I
It'd be
mean, if
amazing,
you core
though.
it down, that's not. There's no artist.
That would be so much fun.
It's like Chumbawamba, like the C tracks. You know, it's like
Listen the night away.
that's brilliance. That's a
That
brilliance.
is.
That's a brilliant drinking song. One of the best out there.
I get knocked down. Yeah, it's good.
So like in review, it's sort of like, well, not review, like we're not done yet, but because this is
No, wait, there's more.
No, it's like we look at the invention of the Les Paul, and it's something that's still with us today.
Yeah.
You know, and he's that's just one of his things. Like, you know, Les Paul's known for multi-tracking.
Yes.
He's known for so many things. I'm a big Buddy Holly fan too. Like, he was the first one to sort of double up his vocals.
Crazy,
Really.
right?
And it was, he's like, let's try this. And like, I love that these revolutions happen slowly. I mean, who would have thought we could record an entire record in your briefcase or on your phone?
On your phone
on
these
your
days.
iPhone. Like, I've heard some great ones people done in their car, on their GarageBand on their iPhone.
Some of my students bring me stuff on their iPhone. And I'm like, how'd you do this? Oh, I just recorded it on GarageBand on here. And I'm like, wow.
It's
Pretty incredible.
boggling.
Yeah.
And that's not saying we don't need recording studios. I think we need them more than ever.
Yes.
Because that's where the craft of like actually doing some of this stuff can be taught and mastered in different levels. But the fact that like we have new technologies being invented daily.
Well, I think the main difference maybe between, comparing some of Les Paul's innovations to, like Kanye, is it's not so much how we record it, it's how you and I, the end user, interacts with it. I mean, that's what's great about the little stem player.
And like, do I
Right.
think that's the new Les Paul? No, I don't think it is. But I mean, the fact that this is, this
I can't believe you guys said that was as important as the Les. We're not saying that. We're just saying.
it's not. No, because like, I mean, the Les Paul, I'll be buried with one of those in a Strat and a Telly. That's sort
Yeah,
of
of
like
course.
my burial plan.
And his wife, and his pets.
And it was a Viking,
Very
buried
Viking
in a flaming ship.
ancient Egypt kind of thing.
Ancient, and I want to be sarcophagized
We're just going to fill this whole room in with dirt. We're going to bury you in this room.
and
It's gonna be
sent
great.
to Eternia, the planet, the primary one of Masters of the Universe, as I talked about the other day. Again, I'm just going to rehash that because I love it.
That'd be great if they excavated you in this room with Les Paul, Telly, and Strat.
I mean, I did, like, the things I
Years.
do, like, I mentioned this before, I think in one of our videos. Whenever I do like a renovation, I do hide guitars in the walls. So if you ever
And all sorts of things.
like buy a house or rent a place that I used to be in, like, I cut the wall out and I put a guitar and other things like notes and pictures, and I reseal the wall and paint over it. So anywhere I've lived, there's guitars in the walls. I just think it's funny.
Strange.
It's funny. Why?
Odd.
Someone's gonna find guitars one day. Like,
Kind of.
"Ugh." Some kid, and this gonna inspire some kid. Like, what is this thing? And there might not be guitars at this point in the future.
There's some like concept album where the dude finds a guitar.
It's Baxter's.
It's not you. Like a real concept.
I'm talking about like these are crappy guitars behind the walls. Don't you're
no.
not getting like a
Don't go
custom
cutting
shop.
any places up for this. No.
Like,
Oh my God, no.
There's that. Okay, thanks, Baxter. Could you have at least restrung it? You can learn that yourself. Learn it up, fella. I'm excited by the idea of this. It was, we were like juggling on this. Like, what are we talking about when we were prepping this? And because it's all over the place. And I'm glad that he's selling a lot of records. That doesn't mean anything. I used to work at MTV VH1. Like, I saw record sales like the Battles of NSYNC and the Backstreet Boys and the Britney Spears and the Christina Aguileras. I saw and these are not records that are held to critical acclaim anymore.
It's marketing,
It's marketing. It's different. Like, well, these guys sold more than this need. Like, we didn't have the ability to transfer music like we do today, like around the world in a global network.
130 countries.
And like, that's not saying it's better music either. It's like, I was, this is the anniversary year of Jim Morrison's death. And I think, I was going back and listening to some Doors earlier this morning because I get up way too early. And like, the older I get, the better I realize that music is. I went through a phase where I didn't like it.
Yeah.
When I got sort of in my, like the late 20s, I was like, oh, it's just kind of like yucky. Because like I listened to it a lot, like when I was a kid, like when everybody's like learning about smoking things. And then you realize the brilliance of it later. Like Jim, and the fact that he's buried in the House of Poets, like in Paris, like with like Oscar Wilde and all these other people, like he deserves to be there, I think. Will Kanye West be there?
Perhaps.
Maybe. I mean, it's like, it's fascinating. It's like, it's not my place to tell. I like to listen to the younger cats talk about it.
It is I did not think I was interested in this at all until we started talking about this.
No, we were both not interested.
We were like,
Our production team had
whatever.
to fight us through it. It's like, does anybody care about this? And like, it's the technology and the idea of ease of access into music, bringing more people into it, bringing more cultures into it as well, and then this boiling pot and melting pot of different you're killing everyone.
Like a frog in a pot.
I was thinking lobsters because I'm classy. I don't even like lobster. But it's just all these different cultures that can like create and think and love and build with music. And if you're a guitar company listening, get your money caps on.
I was gonna say,
there's money on the table.
Moral of the story. Here's what you've been waiting on, Gibson. Build a solid stem player.
Yeah, like
there's your lifestyle brand, your technology.
I mean, seriously, like if you build something $100, or like if you will sell them like hotcakes.
Yeah.
Like, it's like you can't do the Kanye charge because he gets $200. Just Gibson, you can get $100. But all the other artists, like in the bands, like in these labels, like if you're in rock and roll, like there's an audience out there that's beyond the scope of what I even thought was touchable.
It's true.
In my younger playing days. So it's amazing. The world is your oyster, as Scarface says.
There you go.
Take us home, Johnny.
There you go. All right, let us know what you think. Are you guys aware of this stuff? Is it brand new information? Do you care at all?
You're my mate.
It'd be great. It'd be great comments. Hit like and subscribe. Click the bell if you haven't already. Thanks for hanging out with us. We'll see you next time.
Right Side Fred all the way, always. Thank you, guys.